Thank you, Neil. Here's what's happening in the region. A St. Augustine, Trinidad and Tobago man accused of inciting acts of terrorism by way of posts on his Facebook page has been remanded in custody at the St. Anne's Hospital for mental evaluation following an appearance at the Port of Spain Magistrates Court on Monday. Jonathan Mohammed, 22, is accused of sedition and inciting terrorism activities. Those charges arose out of an investigation that was launched after Mohammed posted certain messages on his profile. Police in the eastern Mexican state of Veracruz have arrested 5 people suspected of involvement in the murder of the daughter of a congresswoman. Valeria Cruz, a medical student, was shot dead while working out in a gym on Thursday last. Carmen Medel broke down when she found out about her daughter's murder during a session of Congress. Investigators said they believed Ms. Cruz was killed by a gang in a case of mistaken identity. Murder rates in Mexico reached a record high in 2017, with official figures suggesting that more than 25,000 people were killed that year. Brazilian President-elect Jair Bolsonaro appointed retired Army General Fernando Silva as defense minister, adding another former military officer to his cabinet, which takes effect on January 1. Bolsonaro, a far-right politician and former army captain who was elected last month on a law and order and anti-corruption platform, announced the choice on Twitter. Silva belongs to a group of retired army generals who backed Bolsonaro's presidential bid in the name of fighting Brazil's endemic political corruption. Internationally, CNN has filed a lawsuit against the Trump administration after the White House suspended the credentials of one of its senior journalists. Its chief White House correspondent, Jim Acosta, had his press hard pass revoked last week, hours after he got into a testy exchange with Mr. Trump. According to the BBC, the network alleges this violates its and Acosta's constitutional rights. The lawsuit, filed in Washington, D.C. on Tuesday, names the president and other senior aides as defendants. Sri Lanka's Supreme Court has suspended the president's move to dissolve parliament as a political crisis in the island nation deepens. The president shocked the nation by sacking parliament and calling snap elections on Friday last. The dramatic decision came 2 weeks after he fired his prime minister and replaced him with the country's former leader. But his actions have been called unconstitutional. And that brings us to the end of regional and international headlines. Back to you, Neil.